Alright, and now we're back to start the final level. Lost City Palace. We take the fishing boat. Actually, I don't think we take the fishing boat. We take, like, the fire helicopter or something. They take the fishing boat. And we fly in. Much more stylish. Now, with this one, bit of a blast from the past here. We did this with just the basic washer only earlier. I say earlier this year, no. Last year. And it took us, I think it was 13 episodes or thereabouts, each one being like over an hour long. It took us over an hour to get to 4%, and that was just cleaning the tip of this pyramid. And that's because I was having to use just the red nozzle for a lot of it. Like if we go to like the white nozzle, that's kind of the equivalent, and it doesn't clean off all of this ingrained stuff. So there's this ore. And with that, we were having to do this and just scrub it like that. Whereas with this washer, the green nozzle struggles a bit. I think we'll stick with the yellow, but the yellow just blasts it away. So yeah. So we're expecting this to go much quicker. It'll still take us a while because it's a very large level, don't get me wrong. We may actually have to split this over multiple sessions if it takes us too long. We can almost get up there. We can get up there. There we go. Pyramidon pedestal. It's kind of an annoying shape to clean is the other thing with these aspects at the top. Lots of awkward angles. The pedestal's this whole thing anyway though, isn't it? It goes all the way down to... oh, all the way down even to here. So I shouldn't waste too much time trying to get little bits of it, because it might be pretty generous anyway because it knows how annoying it is. It's always good to have self-aware pieces to clean. This is now the pyramidion itself down the bottom once we get onto the gold bit, but pedestal is the blue bit and above, looks like. Boing! Oh, okay, we haven't done this entire side. Yeah, we did not need to be super exact on that because, yeah, there was a lot that we needed to do there. Now, I do remember that the ore deposits on this are pretty tenacious and really hard to see against the blue as well as the other annoying thing. And then there's all of these angles as well. Oh, there's these designs. So we do need to be mindful of that. We can at least just stand on the pyramid part. We don't just like slide or anything. Good. Those bits are separate. But the scroll bits is every side, I think. Yeah. Oh, and we've got the tops of these bits as well, just to really be annoying. Once again, we don't know how forgiving it's actually going to be there. Oh, there's the edge and the pyramidion itself. And the scroll bit. So that's good. It was pretty generous at the end. We do have a scaffold at least, as you can see off to the left. See, we couldn't have one in the desert for some reason. Apparently it was too difficult to get there. But we could get one onto a fucking island. So... so go figure. I guess maybe the fire helicopter brought it over or something? I don't know. but it's not nearly tall enough to get all the way up here. In fact, I barely used it, I'm fairly sure, even with the basic washer, because it's not that useful being that short. I think it helped me get some angles around the entrance, and that's probably it. Even that's debatably useful. Just trying to avoid lingering on any particular piece, like the side bits, because it seems to be fairly generous with when it dings, so I don't want to linger on things too much and like scrub. That's something that's just not going to matter. If it's going to give it to me anyway, I'd rather it do that without me wasting time on tricky bits. Because I have a really bad habit of wasting time on tricky bits, and then it dinging halfway through a really easy section. I don't know what happened there. I pressed a weird button, I think. Okay, so I do need to do at least those bits. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. It's good shooting down at things as well, because the rest of the pyramid's kind of backstopping my shot. There we are. I think that's all the Pyramidion stuff now. Now we can just work our way down the actual pyramid itself. And yeah, this is the bit that took me a long time to do. With the basic washer, funnily enough. There is a lot of that, like, ore deposit. Which at this point is annoying, but not too bad. Further down it just gets then encrusted with barnacles, which are even worse. I should probably do each face fully, rather than just the gold bit. Because the gold bit itself is not a ding. It's all the way down the blue bit. I need to get an impression of how exacting it's going to be. But I think the green nozzle seems to be dealing with the ore well enough. If there's like a little bit of hard to see dust by the end of it, then so be it. At least it'll be easier to see against the gold. It's a pain to try and see against this blue stuff. This is where a scaffold or something would be really handy. Be able to get just like a little bit of distance from things. But the scaffold is nowhere near tall enough. You can see there's a few little bits of the ore that I've missed. Well, I can see them, you probably can't on the transcoded stream on the VOD after it's been processed, but it probably all looks the same to you. It almost does, even to me. But at various points there are some little bits. We always feel like we're crouching, working down this sort of surface. I mean, I could stand higher and look down, but then I'm spraying at a much shallower angle. Like if I'm doing like this, then it's a shallower angle and it doesn't clean as well. So it's a little bit vertigo inducing if you're that way inclined. So it's not a very safe surface to be cleaning. It'd be nice if they took their inspiration more from the Mayan pyramids rather than the Egyptian ones. I do prefer the stepped design rather than the bit where you've got like a plaster coating or whatever it was to make nice smooth edges, or faces rather. I mean, ultimately, there's just no great way to do these things, just because it's an awkward damn shape to clean. Once you get off the outside and get onto the inside, then it's all nice and flat surfaces again. Give me squares any day. Cool, well, that's that done. So that wasn't too bad. We managed to do that completely with the green nozzle, so that's good. Good to know. This is, honestly, we almost want a third-person view. So you have a little bit more of an abstracted view of what you're doing. It's not quite so up close and personal. I don't think they have a third-person view added. There is, I don't know the button for it. V? No. If it was going to be anything, it would probably be V. Because C is aim mode. And I was dubious about the A mode when they added it, because originally you had to clean everything like this. And I was thinking, yeah, that's fine. But since they added the A mode, I pretty much use it exclusively, because otherwise it is quite mind-bending trying to watch anyone not using the A mode. Or indeed doing it myself. I missed big chunks of it. I was thinking, oh, I'm almost finished this one. No, I missed big chunks. That's fine. This pyramid is just so gosh darn big. There we go. There's the next one. Good. Sure, let's just polish off this bit as well. I guess if we work backwards, it's not so bad, maybe? I don't know. Just need to be, the character needs to be a bit taller or something, I don't know. Maybe we try this one looking down instead. Sorry if you're the sort that doesn't like heights. Hopefully virtual heights is not so bad. Just think about this as being a floor, and we've got a really interesting wall texture down or across there. Really interesting floor texture with waves coming out of it. It's the floor, honest. It's the wall, rather. We're on the floor, don't worry. The scaffold is just sticking out from the wall. Yeah, I mean, we are doing quite a shallow angle, but it seems to be doing a good enough job. I can always actually swap at this point to using the yellow, perhaps. Oh, there's that. That's in my way. Okay, so I have to do this bit sideways first. Then I can worry about working downward like this. It's annoying because I want to look down more as if it was the floor to bring things in more into view rather than it being all at the bottom of my screen, but can't. I guess I could just use like the short extension or something to make sure that it's a better angle. So it's cleaning more powerfully even though it's on a kind of oblique angle. It's something. It worked a little bit. And we could do a similar sort of thing just from further away up here. Just to try and not ram our face into the pyramid quite so tightly, because that's annoying. It is quite a steep angle though. Yeah, better off just not using an extension. Wink. Hey, Crew Chariot, welcome, welcome. Offer promotion of channel, blah 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 blah. Price is lower than any competitor. But it's not zero, so I'm not interested. much as I would love to grow my channel and have more people watching, I am not investing money in doing so. I barely have any time to invest in doing so. So, thanks for the spam, but no thanks. I love that, you know, sorry for bothering you. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you're that sorry for... If you think it's a bother, don't do it. If you're going to do it anyway, then you're not sorry, are you? It's just one of those things. Just don't be ashamed about it. Just say, hi, I'm here to peddle something. It's more a case of, hey, you may not be interested, but... It's like, yeah, cool, I respect the hustle. Good for you. Don't come in here with platitudes. I just don't like ads in general. I feel like if I wanted to promote my channel, I would go looking for something. And I'm sure there's a ton of sites out there with services to offer. Last thing I'm going to do is just hook up some random who wafts into my chat. Alright, so we're at 4% and it's taken us like 15 minutes. It took us over an hour with the basic washer. That's just a bit of a scale for you. Yeah, this is a fun track to be cleaning with this. It's the track from Fitaba's Palace in Persona 5, which is a pyramid. So, how appropriate. This is just cutting through all of this grime so easily. I think some of the faces were alright, even with the basic washer. It's basically if they've got anything ingrained. Like if I go on the white, yeah, even that's cleaning it. So this face could not have been a problem until it got down to the barnacles down below. And then it was a case of just scrubbing block by block. But rather than use the white up close, we're more inclined to use the yellow further away. Get down to the next distinction. Nope, all the same still. It's all the same big wall section. That was my main gripe with this level. It wasn't the difficulty and the grind of getting through the barnacles and the ore and stuff. It was just the sheer scale seemed unnecessary. Like, it's twice as big as it needs to be to convey the same sense of like majesty and magnificence. It could be half the height and the effect would still be there. It would still be imposing, it would still be impressive. It's like that with a lot of the levels. The subway was similar. It's just like 50% bigger than it needed to be in terms of the platform's height, like the tunnel size and everything. The bathroom was twice as big as it needs to be. Didn't need to be completely mirrored. 50-50. I get that they like the scale to an extent, but it then just makes your character feel like a bit of a dwarf. You've already set the character scale by the houses and such, the early levels. Then you got some weird novelty houses that get brought into it instead. The treehouse was alright. That I felt was a decent sense of scale. It was still very large. It had the extra platforms that, yeah, maybe they didn't need to exist, but the house part on top was a reasonable size, and that kind of dictated everything else. So that wasn't too bad. But this is definitely, yeah. pretty much twice as big as it needs. At least twice. Maybe at least half as big, rather, as it needs to be. Maybe twice as big as it needed to be. What was my next milestone, I wonder? So it was 4% just to do the top section. We've already blasted past that. I have a feeling I left a lot of the exterior until last? Not sure. Maybe I worked my way down as far as these like entrance bits and then went inside. I can't remember. All I know is that it took me a very long time. I didn't entertain the notion of doing this entire map using the trident, and in fact, that would probably be faster, must be said. Look at how it blitzes through everything. But it also leaves very messy lines in between, so it's very hard to do a precise job. Kind of annoying in that regard. I guess you do it like this and just kind of scrub sideways, but then it feels like you're not really utilizing it best. It just looks messy. I just don't like it. It's like a cat scratching its way across the pyramid. So yeah, it's faster, probably. It's almost certainly faster. If it was a triple yellow nozzle, it would be godlike. It would just be absurd. Because then it would cover up the gaps, so you wouldn't have big lines that you've not cleaned in between. So otherwise you feel like you're not really gaining the best benefit out of it. If you're doing like a flat surface and you're staring at it directly, then it's probably not so bad. Part of the problem is just because we're on this steep angle looking down at the wall. But it's terrible close up as well. It's just kind of a really pretty narrow sweet spot for using the trident. Okay, that's those parts done. This is still part of the wall as well, isn't it? Let's ditch the extension then. And go back to the... Okay, the archway is separate, but there's the wall. And the floor of the archway is actually still the wall. Confusingly. We would rather be doing like the roof and everything first, but I kind of want to finish the wall. We're missing a very slight part of it, apparently. Problem with such a huge feature is then figuring out what bit you've missed. It's very difficult. Let's just work our way up here, I guess. So we should just climb the edge and just do the edge, because maybe there's a bit of like the edge where it wraps over is what needs to be cleaned still on the wall we were just trying to finish. Nope, apparently not. Some of the bits in here, perhaps? That doesn't help. Yep, there we go. So there's bits along the edge of the archway. That makes sense. I mean, we may as well start cleaning this too, right? That's like... I don't know exactly what to focus on. I could do wall by wall. But, I mean, I've started the archway. I may as well finish it. I think this might be where I used the scaffold for a bit with the basic washer. It was doing these sculptures. These figurehead bits. Because it is hard to get a good angle on it otherwise. So I guess maybe we leave those bits. The archway is probably going to include the frontage as well, unless there's like archway facade or something. Well, this is palace pediment apparently. What the hell is a pediment when it's own? Well, this apparently. It's an impediment to it being cleaned. It's definitely that. And that's still archway all up here. Ah, but that's pediment above that. Okay. But this whole bit here is archway, and it's hard to see the tops of the designs. So yeah, the scaffold is tall enough to do that, so we want to use the scaffold on that. Okay, so we don't want to try and finish these bits off yet. They can be the bits to do last, probably. See, I need to get out of the habit of wasting a lot of time on things that I know I can't finish immediately. Though at least I'm, like, prepping it by doing everything that I can reach here. Because I wouldn't be doing the sides from the scaffold. Alright, on to the next wall. We managed to find the reason why the wall didn't complete. That was the main thing. It would be nice if the pediment bits were broken up into smaller chunks as well. And again, it would be nice if they were just smaller. Let's go back to using the short. In fact, we might even want the long for some of the stuff here. Just to be thorough. Swish, swish, swish. Anything near the front. Probably get from the scaffold once I move it around there. Cool. Everything else can wait. We're wanting to go top down again. And that's where we have the short and the yellow and work our way down. And I feel I don't really want to get too distracted by the pediment roof bit down there. So I know I'm going to have to come back and do it again later. I wonder if actually standing on it and using an extension to do the wall would be better. Once it gets down to this far, doing the wall like this is probably better, right? Even there might be. Don't know. It's quite a steep angle even doing this. It's basically 45 degrees, so whichever way we look at it. This is kind of on our neck though, we're kind of looking up a bit better. And it'll be more effective down this level, certainly. Once you get kind of 2 or 3 bricks away. I kind of want to stand back further as well, to be honest, because then it's not as sharp an angle, it's just then it's further away. But hey, that's what we have an extra long extension for, to be fair. It looks like we're not cleaning as much because, hey, the bricks are so small from here, but they're quite large when you're actually on them. And this is a much kinder way of doing it. Not having to move around so much. They're so shiny once they're clean. Cool. Now we go back stubby and just move in close to finish off these bits. %, almost 10%. You can see how steep it is. Actually, it is more like 60%, probably. 60% degrees, 60 degrees. So staring at it from straight on is definitely preferable to looking down at it in terms of cleaning power. Because otherwise you've got to look in sideways like this, which is also just a pain. Hey, good. Did a good job of that one. What did I say about not getting distracted by doing this? You see, as he's doing it. So unfortunately, the other parts of it we can't do from a good front-on angle. So how tall is that scaffold? Are we getting to the? No, we are not at that level yet. That barely reaches the top here. Actually, that's awkward. That's very awkward, actually, because we've got to get some, like, top angles on the other side, didn't we? Maybe it's not so useful waiting to use the scaffold. Well, we may as well finish each of the wall sections first anyway, regardless. Should probably also take our first little break. I'm certainly not optimistic of finishing the entire palace in one fell swoop. I'll be surprised if I manage to do that. I really should have probably done the UFO last time so that I would have an entire session for the palace, but instead we kind of did that as the prologue. I'm going to finish this wall and take a short break and have a bit of a stretch. Because you are awfully rigid while you're doing this. And it's hard to even stop to take a drink while you're doing things like this. If you're static and staring at a surface and just kind of cleaning your way down, then it's not so bad. You can take a swig with your offhand, but when you're moving and aiming, yeah, it's less easy. I know, first world problems, right? Just streamer things. Way too close there. It's just the further away, the steeper the angle. Make sure that I clean along the edges pretty thoroughly, because those are the bits that I missed on the other one. It is hard to get into right in there. I guess now we just finish it off like this. Gotta do the underside of this as well. We are going to have to do at the very least like the roof and stuff of this archway from the scaffold. So I really feel that the whole pyramid should only be as tall as that scaffold pretty much. Maybe slightly higher. Not like twice the height. That's absurd. It's also really absurd that the pyramid wall is the floor of this bit. This should be archway floor. Simple as that. Right, back up here, around we go, and extension, and yellow. It's annoying that with aim mode off I can look down more directly. Maybe I just dot matrix my way down. I don't know, my movement speed is much slower when I do this though. Just do it in angles like this. I feel this is slower. But I can look down more, because otherwise as soon as I turn aim mode on, it pops me up. Which is kind of annoying. I'm clearly capable of looking down more. Get to that point, and then I'll do it sideways once I get far, get down there. So that way I can get the edge of the archway a lot more accurately. Now the annoying thing is I have to work the other direction from here. This is where being able to swap to being left-handed would be nice. Apparently you can do that in the VR version, so it would be nice if you could do it in the PC version. Okay, now I can just work my way along this way because it's a better angle for when you're right-handed. Almost there. Come on. Ding, please. No dings? Why no dings? Please, sir, may I have some dings? That's just missed some really light little bits in various places. It is tricky when you're going over it at quite a distance away. I wonder if there's also certain angles that are just more easily gotten when looking up. Maybe I should just be doing it looking up instead of down, I don't know. Maybe some bits in here. There's some awkward seams, perhaps. Nope, the wall just hates me. Okay, well, that's cool. Maybe on the floor, where it becomes a floor. That's annoying. Donk. And there it was. It was just in the corner, apparently. Well, that explains that, doesn't it? Funny. Alright, well, let's just jump up here, and we're going to take a short break.